I used to feel like I was failing at everything until I developed a system that got me my time, my energy, and my sanity back. Welcome to my channel. My name is Danielle Gray, and I'm a business coach for mom entrepreneurs who are looking to scale their businesses during school hours without getting overwhelmed, without burning out, and without losing their sanity. So, in the right place. And I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel so that you're notified when new videos are available, because I would love to hang out with you some more. So, I want to share with you the mom method that I created, which applies to everything, whether we're talking about business or motherhood or life in general. I am going to speak specifically about business mostly, but just know that it applies to everything. Because as moms who are running businesses and households, keeping little people alive, keeping our spouses fed, taking care of ourselves, we get inundated with stuff, right? We fall into decision fatigue. We get overwhelmed. There's so many things going on. We are constantly keeping track of what's in the pantry, what's running out in the fridge, when we need to get groceries, what we're making for dinner, when we need to get laundry done, when we need to wash the bed sheets, when we need to vacuum the house, when the dog needs to go for a walk. There's just so many things. If you're like me, you're the one that's pretty much managing the whole thing, and you're the glue that keeps the household together. So that's a big job. So we need to simplify it for ourselves. So that's why I created the MOM method, which is manifest, organize, and master. And I'm going to go into each step here in just a second. But again, know that this method applies to both business and life in general. The first M, manifest, is getting clear about what it is that you're even working towards, what you're even doing, who you're helping, with what, why you're helping them, what you want your ideal business to look like and feel like. It's really important that you get clear about all of these things, because the energy that you create your business with is the energy that perpetuates within the business. And so if you're trying to rush to create all of this content and launch all these big things and do all these crazy things all at once and thinking that once that's set, you're going to be able to then simmer down and enjoy things, it doesn't work like that. So you're better off creating a business that works for you from the beginning. And yeah, it might be a slower go than you maybe thought, but I promise you, using the MOM method will help you take consistent action. And the consistency is what's going to build the momentum that's going to build the success. Because think about it like this. You are much better off to go to the gym for 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, than trying to go to the gym for an hour and a half once a week. Those 5 20-minute intervals are going to be much more impactful over time than once a week going for an hour and a half. That's how the MOM method works too, is it's much more effective for you to build consistency, flex that muscle in consistency, and create that momentum over time, because the compound effect is real. And especially if you are hanging out on this channel, if you're subscribed, you've seen the other videos, you know that I talk about time management, time blocking, reverse engineering. All of that is very important because it helps you stay consistent, stay with the momentum, and continuously moving towards your goals. And then you can't deny that there's progress being made. And the universe loves speed. The universe loves to know when you are committed to your goals. And we do talk about a lot of the manifestation woo stuff here. I'm very much woo and do. I like to mix both. When we're talking about manifesting, the first M, you want to get clear on what your ideal life and business looks like. That includes how many hours do you want to be working. In a previous video I talked about how I use just the hours my son is at school to run a successful business in 20 hours a week or less. Now, between pickup and drop off, somewhere in there, we've got about 5 hours a day, but I don't want to spend all 25 hours a week stuck to my business. And actually, we need to build that buffer in with all the pro D days and sick days and things that happen throughout the year. So it's important for me to be clear about what it is that I'm creating and how I want it to feel, so that I'm reverse engineering everything and scheduling it into 20 hours a week only. So you have to get clear. So many moms that I talk to think that they don't have enough time, think that they're not moving the needle fast enough, but the issue is really they don't have the clarity on what they're even creating or working on. Of course, you're not making momentum because you don't even have a destination set. This clarity includes niche and ideal client. And I know that a lot of business coaches preach about niching an ideal client, and you might even think that you have that down. But if you're really being honest with yourself, how clear are you in who you help with what and why? Because it's in that really clear niching down and getting really specific with who you help that makes everything so much easier. I know that I'm going on a tangent here for a second. I know that niching down can feel very restrictive, because you are narrowing down the number of people you are talking to. And that then, of course, makes the pool of people that potentially will buy from you and work with you smaller too. I used to think this too, but I'm telling you, when you're teaching on a general level versus a specific level, it's so much harder. When I started my business, I was teaching manifestation, and actually I was a relationship coach first. And then I realized that I was only doing that because I felt uncomfortable being seen for the woo manifesting crazy person that I was. So I shifted into manifestation and mindset, but I was keeping it very broad and very general. And then anytime I tried to get specific in my content or in my videos, I found myself restricting because I thought, oh, well, that only applies to this number of people though. And I want this video to apply to everybody because everybody can manifest. And that is true. But the problem is when you're helping everybody, you're actually helping nobody. And so when I really niche down to helping specifically moms who are building businesses during school hours while their kids are at school so that they can be present with their kids and they can set their business up ultimately to run on maintenance mode, kind of autopilot over the summer so that they can be working on their towns like it's their full-time job, that's when it became so much easier to talk to people. And yeah, if I'm only talking to moms building businesses up to their first, say, 5-figure month or recurring 5-figure month, that really alienates a huge population. But it also makes it so much easier for me to speak to and relate to the specific person that I'm talking to, like you. So that's part of the manifest process. Who are you talking to? Who do you want to help? Ideally, what kind of transformation do you want to get these people? And how clearly can you articulate that? And then how do you want to do it? What do you want the offers that you're helping them with to look like? And it's important here, and I talked about this in a previous video, which I'll link down below. It's important that you have a basic understanding of your human design as well. Now, I am not a human design expert. I outsourced that to somebody else. But when you have a basic understanding of what your human design is, you'll also have a basic understanding of what kind of business strategies are going to work best for you. So for example, there's 5 types of human design: manifester, projector, reflector, manifesting generator, and generator. Now, I'm a manifester, which means that I have very ebby and flowy energy, which means that I cannot, for my own sanity, and I don't want to burn out, I cannot run a business with a full live conversion event only sales process. I will burn out so fast. It will be so bad. There is no way that's going to be something that I can sustain. For me, I need to have very clear and solid foundational structures in place that help me to attract, nurture, and serve clients and customers automatedly. And not that I don't want to serve them personally, but I need to make sure that I'm honoring the fact that I'm not always on. I pick days to record videos when I'm on because I have the energy for it right now. But yesterday, I did not have the energy for it at all. And I didn't even get that much done because I just was in a low energy. And so I need to know that about myself and respect that about myself. And something I find a lot of the time is when moms are frustrated about the momentum they're making or not making in their business, what's actually happening is they're trying to fit their round peg in somebody else's square hole because they're learning from, say, a generator when they're a manifester. And so generators are on all of the time. They generate energy. Manifestors are not like that at all. So if I'm going to try to use a generator's business strategy, I'm setting myself up for failure from the beginning. So go and Google a free human design chart and figure out at least what your human design is. It's a rabbit hole, I'm going to warn you right now. But you can start to Google and look into, maybe use ChatGPT a little bit, find some human design people that you resonate with. And I can recommend some too. I'll actually link some below because I love them. But you can find some information on how you can best manage your time and energy. So for example, for the manifest piece, I really need to build peace and freedom into my life and my business. So I need things that are going to create recurring income, like memberships. I need strategies that are mostly evergreen with a touch of live, because I do like to be live when I have the energy, but I need to understand that I can't necessarily plan for that either. So I need to have my offers created in a way that I have the freedom to pop in and out when my energy is aligned with it. If you have any questions about that so far, leave them in the comment section below and I'll make another video to clarify. And so the next piece is to organize. Now that you're clear on what it is that you're creating and who you're creating it for and why you're creating it and what your business looks like and how many hours you have to work with and how you want to utilize those hours, you need to organize it. Get it on the calendar. Reverse engineer the goals, break them down into projects, break those projects down into tasks, and then get them on the calendar. Organize your time, set yourself up for success. I did another video on time management that you probably want to check out as well. I also did another video on how to create your 20-hour work week that you probably want to look at as well. And I'll link both of those below. But you want to make sure that you're organizing yourself so that you can actually hit your goals. And what you'll find with this is it's going to be easy for you to see how unrealistic, I don't really like the word realistic or unrealistic, but you're going to be able to see how realistic or unrealistic your goals are with the time that you have. You're also going to be able to see how clear you need to be about how you're using your time and how dedicated you need to be to sticking to your schedule. You are also going to probably see how you may be overcomplicating some things, and you can probably simplify them a little bit. I talk about this in terms of what's the lowest lift, highest impact thing I can do. So for example, obviously we know that we need to be creating content for our businesses. So for me specifically, I want to utilize YouTube because YouTube is the second most used search engine after Google. So it would be silly for me not to utilize YouTube. But I also want to have a podcast. I also want to have a blog. I also want to send emails. I also want to create social media posts. But I'm just one person. So for me, it makes the most sense to work with what I'm already creating. Think about the highest impact thing that I can do with the lowest lift and then work backwards. So for me, that's to create a video that I can then repurpose into a podcast episode, a blog post, social media posts, email. And we live in a day and age where we can utilize technology and AI and all kinds of amazing things to help us streamline our business structures. Now, obviously, AI is a slippery slope because we want to make sure that we're using it with integrity. We want to make sure that we're using it to help us be more efficient and not do our job for us. Because unfortunately, robots are taking over. It's like my worst nightmare. And people are craving human connection. So you don't want to overly use technology to the point where you remove yourself from the business. But there's definitely ways that we can use it to make our lives easier and to streamline everything that we want to and need to get done in our businesses. What I mean by that is instead of writing all these posts and trying to write a blog post and trying to do this and trying to do that, start with the most impactful piece, which is recording the video that you can then repurpose the transcript. And then all of your content is stemming back to the same kind of idea. So that whole, say, week of content or that whole month, or just in general, all of your content seems to have this like really beautiful interwoven theme because you're talking about the same things in all of these different places. People can get to know you wherever they absorb information. Because I know some moms would rather listen to podcasts in the car than watch videos on YouTube. I also know that videos take more data than podcast episodes do. So I want to hit both of those audiences, but I don't necessarily want to be recording videos and podcast episodes. So what I can do is I can take this episode, strip the audio, and add a podcast intro and outro and take out all the places where I ask you to like and subscribe because that's a YouTube thing. And then now I've got a podcast episode. By the way, feel free to like and subscribe so that you can hang out with me some more because I would love it. And then so the last piece, now that we've figured out what we want, we've reverse engineered it, we've organized it, it's on the calendar, we know what's getting done when, we've time chunked, we have gotten clear about what we want the offers to look like and feel like. Now it's time to master. And I don't just mean master your time, to master your energy, master who you're being, because your next level of success requires you to be a different version of yourself, requires you to up level. So think about the level of success that you want. Who does that require you to be? Where are you going to be required to change? So obviously some of this is going to be accomplished with the mom method because part of that is going to be taking the time to really get clear and reverse engineer and get it on the calendar. That's a new version of you right there. But it also is going to require you to master your mindset, to master your boundaries with yourself and with other people. And this again comes back to time management. You need to set boundaries with yourself so that you can call yourself out when you've picked up your phone and started scrolling, when you know damn well you should be recording a video. You can also call yourself out when you catch yourself folding laundry or trying to unload the dishwasher, when you should be focusing on your business, because those things can be done when the kids are home. It's about mastering who you're being, mastering the thoughts that come up in your head. When you catch yourself spiraling with doubt, catch yourself and say, no, that's why I have this plan. That's why I'm being better about my time management. That's why I'm doing all of these things, and I'm doing them in the way that I need to do them. I'm building momentum. It's happening. It can't not happen. And let me just side tangent caveat here. Any strategy you choose will work, even if it's not aligned with your energy type. It will work. Your belief in the strategy is like 90% of the battle. But it also serves you to pick strategies that can be sustained long term too. Because I started my business doing the live conversion event method. It works. It works well. I made 6 figures very quickly. My family and I were even able to move to Central America for a year and a half, but it's not sustainable. And I burned out. And it wasn't until the final time that I burned out that I was like, okay, this doesn't work anymore. I need to change the way that I'm doing this. And then that's how the Mom Method was born. So we need to master your mindset, master your boundaries, master your time, like I said. And so I've already given you some snippets into examples of my own planning process, but I'm going to break it down just a little bit more. So if I know that my business needs to be mostly evergreen, I need to automate a lot of it. I know that I need to utilize paid traffic because that makes more sense for me. I'm not saying necessarily that you have to, although it's silly to not have Meta funnel people to you, so then you would just have to nurture them. But that's my 2 cents on that. I know that I convert well on video. I know that I love to talk. I know that recording videos is a strong suit of mine. So I know that these are components that I want to have both in my relationship building stages and in my actual serving my client stages. I also know that I want to create offers that allow me to come in and out and don't have me tied to needing to be anywhere repetitively over the week or the month. I want to make sure that I build into my offers a structure that allows me to nurture my own energy type and dip in and out as my energy ebbs and flows. So I actually plan my big vision in 90-day increments. I get clear on where I want to be at the end of the 90 days. I figure out what needs to happen in that time to make that happen. So those are my projects. And then within those projects, I need to decide, okay, if those are my projects, what are the tasks that need to happen also? So for example, right now at the date of recording, it is April 9th today. So I have, I don't even know, 80 days or so until summer break starts. I want to put my business on pseudo maintenance mode over the summer so that the only things that I'm doing in my business are things that I'm inspired to do, that I have been given time to do because my son is off with a friend or he is too cool to hang out with me. I was watching a movie or something, playing his video games. Maybe he's doing a summer camp, whatever. Or actual coaching calls where I need to be involved. This is a side tangent thing, but I understand that human connection is what people need. You can get information anywhere. The how-to information, I'm giving you how-to information right now. How-to information is very easy to find, but it's the implementation that people need help with. And that's the part that I help with. I know that there are aspects of the business that require me to be in it, and I want to be in it. I want to help my clients get good results. I want to help you build a business that you love and that feels good and that you can do while your kids are at school, so that when they're home, after school, spring break, Christmas break, summer break, you can spend time with them and still have your business working for you in the background. I want to help you build that foundation so that happens. But that requires coaching. It requires feedback. It requires consulting. It requires eyes in your things. So those are hours that I'm going to spend in my business, obviously. But working backwards, I want to batch create all the content for the whole summer ahead of time. I've got a new lead magnet that you can get down below, my 20-hour workweek blueprint for mom entrepreneurs. That needs to go into a paid traffic automated funnel with a nurture sequence and all of that. I have a new membership launching soon, or maybe by the time you're seeing this, it's already available. The link will be below. And I've got a new program launching in September, but I won't deal with that until I've built it into my schedule so that over the summer I can kind of dabble in it as I feel inspired to over the summer. And then in September, that's when it really starts. And so those are my projects. So what are the tasks that go into that? Even just the lead magnet, I've got to create the content for the lead magnet and then get it into Canva and then get a landing page and an opt-in page and a thank you page and a order bump and an upsell and email nurture sequence to make sure that you're following through on what I gave you in the PDF and that you know that there's other ways that you can work with me, and there's other things that I offer that are going to improve your ability to create this life that you want, including I make custom subliminal audios, which have been extremely successful. I make them in a bundle with a guided meditation and journaling prompt so that you can work through and work towards and brainwash yourself to believing that it's already happening. Whatever it is you're working towards, we can reprogram your mind to believe that it's already happening. And so I want you to know about that. So I'm going to put that in the email nurture sequence. But every little piece of this requires a little piece, right? Which is why you want to break everything down into tasks and then schedule it out. So my challenge to you today is use the mom method to your benefit. Figure out what it is that you actually want to create, what your dream business looks like. I want you to organize it onto the calendar, and I want you to start mastering being that person, mastering your time, mastering your mindset, mastering your boundaries with yourself and other people. And you will see that you build the momentum that you need in your business to get it where you want to be so that you can have a 20-hour work week or less, and you can put everything on maintenance mode, autopilot, whatever, over the breaks that your kids are out of school so you can spend time with them instead of glued to your computer. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions left over, or if anything I said inspired a question, please leave it in the comments below. I will be happy to not only answer them, but I would love to create a future video to answer those questions, because I'm here for you to help you build a business that you love, that you can scale during school hours while your kids are out of the house, so that when they're home, you can be present with them. And while you're down and around here, I would love it if you would hit the little like button to let YouTube know that you would like to see more videos like this. I would love you to hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell notification so that you know when a new video is available, because I would love to hang out with you again, and I hope that you would like to see me again. So I will chat with you later. Have a great day.